Spirit game number 2 of this best of 3, and this game is super important. The series, I should say, super important for Team Spirit, because if they lose this series, Synderen, they're at best, and they have to rely on other people to lose. They could maybe tie for 4th, maybe.
Yeah.
So this is far more important. And if BetBoom wins this, then they've pretty much positioned themselves very nicely for that top 2 position.
Yep. I think at worst they would tie for 2nd. Yeah, they would, because the worst score they can get is 5-2 at that point, and the 3rd place team currently has 3-2 in OG. So, yeah, everything to play for both teams. Let's talk Lycan, shall we? We complimented Miero on an outstanding Beastmaster performance yesterday when they last picked that, and this time around they go the same route where they leave the last pick for their offlaner as something that not a lot of teams have been doing. And this will bring out the Lycan from him this game. I think this is an awesome pick for the game. The panel was talking about Slardar, which I think would have been great for a completely different reason. But yeah, the Lycan is going to do fine in the lane. I don't think Lifesteal is the type of hero that can truly bully you out, so you're going to get your early CS and probably Helm of the Dominator. And the supports are going to suffer. And the Lesh too. I think Lesh actually doesn't fare particularly well against Lycan either. You can run around him, you're hard to hit with the stun.
That is a lot of denies. That feels like a bad manners pause. GPK has been getting these, what was that, 2 denies so far, but I think both on range creeps, and both Laurel tries to last hit with the Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
Very rough. Very early though, of course. Yeah, I mean, Slardar definitely would have been good, but sometimes players, they just want to play, they just feel something, you know? You gotta give some credit to your offlaner who's able to play all these heroes that a lot of the offlaners aren't playing right now.
For sure.
If he feels confident, why not?
This is having these like little tricks up your sleeve or aces up your sleeve is what can get you to a grand finals in the end. I wouldn't call this a cheese pick necessarily. It's just, it's like very uncharacteristic. It's something other teams won't be thinking about actively during the draft. So it can win you an important game here or there. I will say though, Spirit do have one good counter to Lycan. Only one, and that's the Mars. Arena is one of the best ways of handling this hero. You contain him in an area. Rebuke hits all of Lycan's stuff at once, so it can do some meaningful damage.
I don't know what Lycan's build these days, but this is looking like a very good Ags into Bite Sven type of game. So
true.
That's really strong.
That is also a possibility, of course. Just amping him up. I mean, Helm of the Overlord Ags, probably fine, right? Unless you want to go a right-click route where you get BKB so you can counterplay the arena. And then you focus more on your hero than your summons, but I think that's kind of defeats the purpose of picking the hero.
Well, it also doesn't fit Miero's playstyle. He doesn't play like the greedy, right-clicky type offlanes, right? It's Initiator and Enabler. Nice
sidestep from GPK. The deny still will go to Laurel, though.
Yeah, Laurel, after a bit of a lackluster performance, I want to say, on that Pango last game. Didn't really find his footing at any point. The odd thing is, like, typically when you experience something like that as a viewer, like, okay, you must not be farming well. His farm was actually quite good, but just not able to find any meaningful connections with the Rolling Thunders, it feels like, and maybe it had something to do with the lineup of BetBoom, as we're going to see the nice impale into Spear. Nightfall gets off his Warcry, but Mira is the one to fall as Toronto Tokyo gets aggressive.
Very fortunate for Mira, though, that he dies to the Warpine Raiders there. That would have been first blood for the Mirana. Instead, he gets a quote-unquote free refill. It is a long respawn time, of course, dying to the neutrals, but rather that than giving away first blood, I would think.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
Collapse will be exploited a bit here because of this 2v1 that they have for this long.
You know, I never liked that when it creep denies you, it just has like little text on the screen. There's no impact. It should say something like, denied, you know? Like right in your face. Heroes of Newerth, shout out to you. Oh. RIP.
Your second favorite game of all time.
That might be my first, actually.
Really?
Maybe. For a 1-year period, it's probably the best game I've ever played. Yeah. Super good. And Miero, like, he already had... That is a right-click build, by the way. Okay. So... It's gonna be... Oh wait, who were we just clicking on? Okay, that was the Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Never mind, carry on. I was very surprised.
I would be a little bit worried if my Lycan went Armlet Radiance against this team. I think that would be very stupid.
Well, I thought it might have been Armlet Nullifier. You never know.
I guess, yeah.
I've seen that before.
That is a thing.
Oh, Courier's going to be sniped out by Save as the first blood is still yet to come. And GPK in that mid lane. Oh, Mira getting gone on by Toronto Tokyo. Looks like someone's going to die.
You wanted the first
Mira.
blood, you got it.
Yep, nice impale. Collapses here as well. Gets off the spear, but...
Just kidding.
Yeah, nice job, Cinder.
You gotten it.
Of course again. Yotaro is all alone, though, so he's going to take some heavy harassment here. Has the Orb of Corrosion now, which seems to be the go-to item early on here for Lifestealers. And what do you think of Lifestealer as a hero right now from the games that we've seen?
I think he's pretty good, but specifically very much as a counter pick. It doesn't seem like you can really run this hero unless the core-to-core matchups against, I want to say, 2 enemy cores are good, which is the case in this game. You picked it into Sven and you picked it into the Kunkka. I think that's reasonable. Yotaro.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble.
Big damage.
Will be there, though. Save. Still with that Firefly. No mana to work with, but the Wolves are helping him out. He's going to have to pop Rage from Yotoro's side, turning his sights onto Save. Yotaro limps away, as so does Save.
Save had a buffer of a Lotus there.
Mid lane, actually pretty damn even overall. Flame Break finds Yotaro as the Wolves continue to harass.
This is another problem about the safe lane against Lycan. They can't kill the wolves.
Yeah, that's true.
They're quite bad at it. Lifesteal can hit one wolf at a time for absolutely fantastic damage. And Grimstroke can cheer him on. Bring out your best pom-poms. You can do it, Lifestealer. And Lifestealer says, I can eventually do things. I just need 15 to 20 minutes, and then my hero is good against something. Obviously, if this was a Kunkka offlane, this would be a totally different story. That lane matchup is quite a different beast for Lifestealer. But BetBoom avoided that by putting the Kunkka mid.
Yeah,
so
that's the beauty of the flex picks.
cleverly solving that problem. Incoming Power Rune,
yeah.
GPK and Toronto Tokyo will cover bottom.
Yeah, Mira gets off the Impale. It will be a damage rune, and now Mira
Is dead.
Let's see if Cinderin's right this time. X into Torrent, and first blood to GP.
First blood. And here come the Sharks.
All right, not really a Keck moment there. He's been doing
Don't
very
worry.
well this game so far.
Yeah, he finds his moments every game. That's his style. That's what makes him such an entertaining player to watch.
He's an entertainer first and foremost, and a competitor second.
Yeah. As a viewer, I'm fine with that.
Laurel
Laurel
will be
yeah.
hesitating here, wisely so.
Remember the
Marana was
BetBoom in the area.
flanking, and Save is nearby too. Yeah, Mira will come in with the bottle refill. That should be the end of that. Miposhka, oh, he's getting scouted out. He's in trouble already. He just doesn't know. Now he knows.
Yes, he does. Inkswell, Flame Break brings him back. Can they kill him in time? The Inkswell is there, 1 second away.
Nicely
and he
done.
takes the Wisdom Rune in time.
That's
and,
big.
Oh, maybe a courier, but no. We'll die first.
That is really big. This is something that offlane Lycan doesn't do too well. Like, surely he scouts it, but he doesn't have any stun or slow for the bat to cover with. So Grimstroke just going to run the whole way down and get that rune. That's the first good news for Spirit this game, 7 minutes in. They will get the level advantage on their supports, most likely from this. I say most likely because these side lanes are going very well beside of BetBoom. So it's not even
they
enough.
find a little Marana action. The silence is there, and the Pulse Nova cleans him up. So Toronto Tokyo overstaying his welcome a bit as the Inkswell now will not find its mark. Tier 1 tower, though, did take heavy, heavy damage. Less than half HP already.
If Lesh loses tower to Kunkka, that would be
to
something.
be fair, there's been 2 supports close by for quite a
Sure, I'm not saying it's Laurel's fault. I'm just saying that is not what you were expecting out of this matchup.
Yeah.
So...
I think Mira might
But
be a little
Lifestealer
bit
is just
stronger.
so... until he gets armlet, man, it's just there.
Yeah, he is a creep. He's an absolute creep, which is ironic because in Dota 1 he literally was the creep model. The dire.
Yeah, just a bigger
creep.
version.
That's right.
And he had a great ult, giving him 18 seconds of magic immunity.
Yep. I think
very
that'd be pretty good these days. I actually don't remember that one.
I wonder if that was in the game before BKB. If BKB was actually inspired by that ulti, and then they reworked him.
I think you've been playing a little bit longer than me, so you know that. BKB was always in there. Yatoro gonna dodge one spell, but the torrent into the Centaur stomp. He has Infest. Takes over the Centaur now.
He took it back. Where are we going, boys? Where are we taking the Lifestealer?
Oh my god.
Where are we
Is
taking
this
him
actually
today?
happening? I mean, if he waits long enough, he'll have the Rage. TP. He's gonna get chased now as Miero pops the Shapeshift. Yatoro getting closer to the tower. Will finally pop his Rage. Now the X will bring him back into Death's arms, and Miero just chomps him down. Meanwhile, mid lane. All of this just to try to get Toronto Tokyo, but he's gonna live. And now GPK.
It's good tower damage
his
at
tower.
least. But yeah, I mean, what do you do there, Yatoro? I actually think he's making the right call getting out and dying. Because otherwise you're just wasting time, right? Like, you need to respawn.
Yeah, but Toronto Tokyo. I can see Laurel. It's already really low, but the Ink Swell doing so much. It's gonna cost Lesh's life eventually. At least he gets a little bit of XP in the way. As Laurel finds a double kill.
Did Toronto stay in the Edict? He actually stuck around in the Edict.
Don't see that very often. And GPK trying to run down Miposhka. One more, nope. The Lotus actually keeping Miposhka alive. The Ink Swell connects as well. And he'll be able to get out of dodge as a result. Yeah, the post-death Diabolic Edict. Not too common in these parts.
It's not that he died to the Edict, it's that it was like 5 seconds after he died. It took so long. He must have forgotten, or I don't know, maybe he died on purpose. I'm going to entertain that idea as well, because Lesh being dead gives him no experience, and it's a refill for Toronto, right? But I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch. He could have gone and died to a neutral camp as well.
GPK got the nice stun animation applied to him. He will be running very fast without moving his legs.
Are fortified.
It's the
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Almost
not
done
so
with
Much Kunkka right now. It's the cursed pirate captain.
Yeah.
Walking on 0 legs.
Yatoro is going to be in a bit of trouble here in just a moment.
Radiant's middle tower.
So there's the shapeshift. Yatoro runs to the north. Miposhka is the one that's found and likely will be the sacrifice. As Yatoro tries to TP out, we'll be fine. Into the jungle he goes as the tier 1 tower falls at the 11.5 minute mark in BetBoom's favor.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Starting to build a pretty good lead here, and obviously concerning, to say the least, for Spirit that Yatoro's game is this bad on Lifestealer. We've seen Lifestealer from other teams do quite well against heroes like Sven, but that's been with a better start. Sven can overpower you if he gets ahead by one major item, and that seems to be the trajectory that we're on right now, where Spirit don't really have the best ways of making sure that this Sven doesn't get off the ground after the lane.
Every other core in the game is 1,000 up, basically.
Yeah.
All around the same thresholds.
Regeneration.
Yatoro's the one left behind for now. Almost done with his armlet. Just the recipe away. And I mean, you just got to farm still. I mean, Lifestealer does have the advantage of, I mean, he doesn't have really an Infest Bomb target until Collapse gets Blink.
Not really.
Participating in, as I say that, okay.
He can use it as a save, though. But
I mean, that's the thing, though. Even if you're behind on farm, you get this armlet, you go inside Collapse with that Blink, you can actually set up some kills.
Yep. It's possible.
Nightfall, he's going to show up in the top, trying to potentially set something up onto Yatoro, but he's all alone for the time being.
He's 3 levels ahead. 2, I guess. Yatoro's about to crack 9.
Trying to force him out. We'll just farm and back. And Spirit still looking for somebody. They're going a little bit of a ward expedition as well with this smoke, so that's going to be cleaned up immediately by BetBoom, it seems. BK still stunned with how well this game is going for him.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
There's the Moonlight Shadow. This was such a huge part of that game number 1, the Moonlight Shadow. Of course, you got the Wolves as well.
Yeah.
Lots of scouting potential.
We didn't talk about that. That's actually quite important against Mars. In this meta that we've seen, Mars is getting so many key jumps in clutch situations, like around Roches or around towers. We've seen very few teams pick up scouting tools. And now Miero has played both the Beastmaster and the Lycan, and they're taking advantage of this extra information that they're given. So this could end up playing a key role. You combine that with Moonlight Shadow, the Wolves find something, you Moonlight in, your entire team comes in invisible together with the Wolves and just jumps on some sort of opportunity. And it also forces the side of Spirit to invest heavily into detection, which means their supports, in turn, are going to be really poor. Seeing some of the effects of it right now. Both Mira and Miposhka well at the bottom of the chart.
Yeah, this could be an opportunity for BetBoom as well to get kind of an early Roche. Lycan, pretty damn good fighting that. There's a tier 1 tower in the bot lane.
Not as good as when the Overlord gave the Vlad's aura though, but still.
Yeah, that's true.
Still solid.
Structures are fortified.
Sutoro will be working on the Radiant, so this has been pretty much the build of Lifestealers at this tournament thus far. And then eventually S and Y.
I wonder if this is a game where you could have made a case for the good old Armlet Deso AC. I think
bottom tower has fallen.
the Radiance is probably the faster farming build and it keeps you ramping up better, but if you're working under the assumption that BetBoom is going to bring the fight to you with this Lycan, I think having AC is really valuable for your team against the tons of physical damage the Radiant has. And the Deso will allow you to burst with Infest Bombs with Mars onto someone like Sven or the Lycan as well. But maybe the risk-reward just doesn't favor it enough. And considering the average game time that we're seeing in this tournament, maybe if you're ever in doubt, just pick the farming item.
Of Collapse. Gonna use that Blink Dagger to full effect as the Finger of Death there to finish off save, but little to his knowledge, BetBoom was there already. So they're gonna clean up Collapse and Mira on top. Double kill for Miero, but Nightfall, this would be an enormous kill for Spirit, but you can see the mass TPs actually being canceled now, as Nightfall will TP out, so the only trade is the Bat Rider.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are
And Miero going for an early shard, by the way. It's funny how that item has actually gotten to the point where it's worth buying.
Yeah, this hero's been through some different phases, hasn't it? Lycan has changed quite a bit. Where's the shard? He's going AC.
Okay, he changed
I
his
trusted
mind.
you.
Oh, he had it there. He will be going for the Ags, though. That's exciting.
Yeah, after AC first.
Yep.
I think that order makes sense. Getting the AC gives them this really powerful mid-game timing. It's super good for the Sven, and even for the Kunkka to have the AC on their team, just as much as we talked about it for the Spirit side. It's good for BetBoom, and then you can get the Ags when Sven is truly online and just turn him into an absolute monster. As if Sven needed that.
Yeah. Sven now not too far away from the recipe of the BKB. And then likely the Ags to follow. It's been relatively cookie cutter. But he wants to get involved before that BKB comes online, as GPK is still in that animation. That's been like 10 minutes or so at this point.
I guess they don't have that bug on BetBoom, or there would have been a pause.
Miposhka will Inkswell himself. Now on the retreat, Laurel getting the hell out immediately.
Wow, are they getting...
They're getting nothing other than, well, even Miposhka getting away through the tree line.
0 kills there. What?
Yep, God Strength. They might just go Roche, though, with this God Strength up.
That was such a... The amount of fogging going on there from Miposhka was super clean. Wow, that's surprising that BetBoom don't find someone. All right.
Because they thought he was already stunned. They weren't expecting him to walk away. And into the pit they go.
At the very least, they prepare the area for themselves.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I
attack.
wonder what triggers those animations. I feel like we've seen a couple of those now. A little bit more common than we're used to.
Yep.
So there's the Aegis for GPK, and he's not far away from Torrent Storm as well. And that might be lined up pretty nicely with the AC on the Lycan and the BKB on Nightfall.
The AC is quite far off, but that would also be an insane timing to have that soon. I'll tell you this much. It's not fun being a support on Spirit this game. Now you have to navigate Torrent Storm. Lycan eats you alive. You get one shot by Sven. There's plenty of problems for the side of Spirit that they're going to have to solve with good positioning and play calling. And realistically speaking, because of the nature of the lineup that they have, they're not going to take very much initiative right now. They still need to wait for Yatoro to at least get the Radiance, but
he does get the Rage off. That's some damage, but now he's going to get X'd. Trying to get the Infest, and just in time on a
barely
creep.
got the wave there.
But Mira not going to be so lucky. Starstorm finishes him off. So BetBoom, looks like they still want to fight here. Torrent actually connecting onto Miposhka right away. He just gets melted. And now the arena coming out from Collapse. You talked about this early game. This is a good counter to the Lycan, and in fact, Miero's reign will end here. But you can see BetBoom still very happy to fight. X arrow actually
cannot
misses, and
miss
Collapse
that
can
arrow.
use the BKB now. GPK might have to run away, although Nightfall getting off the God Strength as Save gets eaten up by Yatoro. Stormhammer onto Yatoro. Armlet toggling will actually get away. Laurel getting very low on the mana, but he also ends up getting out just fine.
Damn.
Big missteps here from BetBoom.
Yeah, that arrow miss is just... Oof, that's a big one to miss. Collapse gets the BKB off and it ends up losing them. Their Batrider afterwards trying to go for the chase. Bit of a mistake there. Nice response from Spirit. They get something back. And surprisingly, how is Sven not richer than this? Nightfall's farm is actually surprisingly low here, sitting at 235 at 21 minutes. I know it might sound ridiculous to some, but we've had plenty of games in this tournament where Sven is rocking 300 right now, or even more. So maybe it's because of the core combinations that they have. Maybe Lycan is taking some of Sven's space.
Yatoro was 4th in net worth on his team, and that's why he got the shard, and now he's top in the game. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that is funny.
That is hilarious. And open wounds. Very good shard. Speaking of shit shards, save. Feels like Batrider always wins at 50-50. As Collapse with the arena. Save is going to be worth more money now that he got that shard. Collapse is very happy with the enemy Tormentor.
That's a good sequence for Spirit.
Absolutely.
That's a good roll of the dice right there.
Yeah. Nightfall will start the work on the Aghanim Scepter.
How is he not richer than this? Maybe BSJ can go over this after the game. I would be curious, like how Sven managed to not build a bigger advantage off of this early laning stage where Lifestealer got shut out. You were 1,500 up against Lifestealer like minute 8.
Yeah.
And Sven in this tournament generally has been ramping up like crazy, so it must have been something about how BetBoom played the map and distributed their resources that's different from other teams. Sven is not that scary if we're looking at these farm numbers or this net worth.
Yep, certainly not yet, but
Miposhka will find his best friend Lycan.
is he actually just gonna die to creeps?
Yeah. Have fun. That's great playing Grim against Lycan. I love this matchup.
Oh my god, that looks miserable.
He has to buy Ghost Scepter. It's the only item you can buy.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's going to open you up to more torrents on your face.
Yeah, but you got to pick your poison. I think both supports in this game should be thinking about it at least.
Laurel, lasso initiation, but Collapse was there for the counter initiation save. It's going to take an arrow. GPK getting off the Torrent Storm, doing a lot of damage to Laurel, but it looks like he's going to live. The Infest keeps him alive. Extra HP to boot as GPK might have to back away.
He kind of wants to use the Aegis.
Spear. Nightfall coming in with the God Strength and the BKB takes out Mira quickly. The Pavis not enough. As Laurel.
Oh God, that was close.
Whew. Felt that deep in my bowels as Laurel.
Somehow Toronto closer to hitting that one than the previous one.
Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
And after all that, a 1-for-1. Support for support. But we are very close to some gigantic items, Cinderman. AC for Miero.
Yep.
Nightfall halfway to the Aegis, as we've talked about ad nauseum. And Yatoro, what is he going for after the rating? This is probably the S&Y still? Yeah. It'll be S&Y into AC for him.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. I definitely expected him to eventually get AC in this game, given the matchups. It was coming at some point. I wonder... I'm still worried for Spirit about how they're going to handle the supports this game. Because I think what's going to be deciding for this game is who supports get to play the fight more. On the side of BetBoom, Batrider as well as Mirana, if they get caught in an arena, their fight is just over. But at the very least, they need to be spotted, and then Collapse needs to find the angle, get the jump, and isolate them. For the side of Spirit, if they just envision, Lycan can pop his ult and just run them down at no risk. Until they have these Ghost Scepters. But at that point, Sven will have Ags.
Yeah.
And then he can just fly across to the Wolves scouting for him and just one-shot them.
GPK, is he building a BKB right now? Yeah, he is building it. I think for now, the open wounds, something we didn't really discuss, is actually God tier against Kunkka.
Yeah.
Not only because he's such a high strength gain target, but also the spell lifesteal that you get, or overall lifesteal for your team, nullifies so much of the damage of the Blade Mail, so you don't have to actually stop hitting him. We'll see if they put that into effect, but of course once that BKB comes on, the open wound's not going to be nearly as effective until it is gone.
BetBoom looking. They have their Ags on Sven after that disassembly of the Echo.
Yep, Collapse. Oh. Link in, Rebuke. Gets off the spear, finds a connection onto the Sven, Impale to follow, but not going to follow with much more as now they try to run away. Split Earth is there as Nightfall focusing on the Lion to start things out. Both supports dead, in fact, for Spirit, as now they're on the run. And Miero continuing to chase. Spear will connect, Nightfall shadowing him. BKB finally popped by Collapse, but now the focus is onto the Leshrac, and there's the arena. Just the 3 cores of Spirit. Laurel loses his life. Yatoro has the Infest, needs Mars close by. Gonna try to fight it out instead, potentially. X marks, but he gets stunned finally. Gets off the Infest, but it's on to a Wolf.
Can't find him.
They don't have vision, though.
Where'd he go?
So the getaway is successful for Yatoro, but still 3 lives lost for Spirit. You can see he's still trying to potentially find somebody here. Toronto Tokyo does not have any leaps. This would be a kill. And down goes the Mirana. And the Butler action.
Wait, am I missing something? Or does Miero actually have the foresight here to buy Dust so that he can Dust when Lifesteal infests his Wolf? There's no other invisibility on the Dire side, right?
Huh.
What a genius. He had Dust in that fight. He already used one, I think. But then I wonder why he used it prior. Like, why would he have it on cooldown?
I don't know.
It was like I was looking for any sort of Glimmer Cape or whatnot, but it has to be to find the Wolves when...
Maybe he thinks they have a Glimmer Cape. He just assumes.
How would you not?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because it's super next level to have the foresight to think Lifestealer will be in trouble and he's going to infest my Wolf and then I'm going to dust him. But then he wouldn't have used the dust. So why does he have it?
I don't know. I can't.
Maybe misclicked it. There's a lot of buttons on Lycan. You're controlling a lot of stuff. So
true that. And Yatoro, top net worth right now. After such a miserable start. Just crazy to see that
he's recovered really well.
Miero's AC's there, which means Aghanim Scepter next on his list.
Collapse will get an Octarine here.
Okay.
Lower cooldown on the spears. Just wants to keep pressuring the Sven, I suppose. There were definitely different paths you could have taken here.
Back to port.
Now there's the GPK BKB.
Oh, they know something's coming here because they see the way Yatoro is moving, anticipating his team is smoked behind him.
Light Shadow. And they have an idea this is here. The Wolves will scout things out. Maybe it's Sentry, so they know they've been scouted out. As the stalemate continues, 20 seconds for Roche.
Radiant are scanning.
Who will find the initiation? A lot of these Roshas have come down to Mars initiation. But like you said, these Wolves are going to be very annoying to deal with. Basically requires a smoke from Spirit to not be spotted here. And they're going to see that Roche is now up. And will BetBoom get here on time? This is not going to be the craziest fast Roche for Yatoro.
Yeah, they get cold feet. They don't know anything here about what BetBoom are up to. And BetBoom actually taking advantage of this. Nightfall's just farming.
Yeah.
They kind of called the bluff here. Now they can send in the Wolf to get new information, and they will see Roche being on 80%. There's another arrow. They do have good scouting tools as long as they get onto at least mid-range.
Yeah, they're going to go for the day Roche, which is funny because BetBoom, if they saw this coming, could maybe try to sneak Roche before he gets to the gate, but instead they'll TP bottom and prepare for the Roche off on the other side of the map. Yatoro actually leading the way. They want to get an initiation
Nightfall's being
onto
spotted on a
Nightfall.
ward.
There's the arena onto 2, but the quick BKB from GPK to be able to get off his Torrent Storm as a result. Lasso applied to the
Oh
Torrent,
my
going to keep
God!
it alive a little bit longer as Mapochka and Mira get deleted by Nightfall. And Yatoro able to infest inside of Laurel. Gets off a Split Earth onto 3 heroes. Look at the damage now. The Rebuke ends up killing 2 basically as a double kill for Yatoro. The only member to get away from that engagement was the Lycan. So huge burst damage from both sides. First Sven. And then Spirit follows through as they win the team fight in the end.
Sven one-shot both supports, and then they won the fight after Spirit did. They're going to clean up Miero here as well eventually, you would imagine. Collapse.
Yeah.
Keeping him busy.
Rebuke is there. Miero forced to
Assistance
kind
is
of try to
coming.
fight this off. Split Earth will hit. And the spear
Wow.
to the pulse.
Give me that replay. That one Sven's look to the bottom right here. So he Stormhammers in, and then he ends behind the trees, which is unfortunate. Boom!
Disgusting.
And Lesh gets off. If he doesn't get off this Bloodstone Ewel's on like 5% health, they just lose
Yeah.
the fight 5 to 1, basically.
Triple Split Earth. Man, that
Oh,
shard on Lesh is absurd.
It's the little things. Like, imagine Lesh has slightly less health and you just lose the fight horribly. But they're playing on the limits. They're Laurel with a huge moment. They will get the Aegis now on Yatoro as well. And of course, the thing is, as long as Lesh gets off Bloodstone and Ewel's, when he lands on half health, they also have the Infest for the boost. They're keeping Laurel alive just long enough to outlast the side of BetBoom. And this is starting to look very healthy now for Spirit. Aegis in hand. Sven is 3rd on net worth, which is definitely not a good look.
Yeah, despite one-shotting.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, right? But maybe Lycan Ags can swing things a bit for BetBoom here. That's going to help him.
We have not seen the Wolf bite yet.
It's free real estate, free net worth for the Sven that he doesn't usually have access to. Doesn't usually need it either, though.
No.
I honestly think this is maybe an even bigger item. The Bat BKB is going to open some doors here for BetBoom now. He will be able to reliably initiate against this team. It's been quite difficult. You need to always account for the Hex. You can get counterplayed by Mars Arena. You get Ewelled, but now he can 100% jump on the guy he wants. But who will that be? Who can you kill? It's ironic to say that when you're playing together with Sven, but Lesh probably a bit too tanky right now for the Sven to eat. Lifestealer you're not killing probably either, and he has Aegis, so at the current point in time that's not an option. So maybe you try to just... Mars is tanky too. Who do you go on? The supports you don't really want to lasso either of, because they should just be dying to Lycan anyway.
Yeah.
Wonder what target Save is going to end up selecting in the coming fight, or if they even take one. Maybe BetBoom will play keep away for a while.
Well, there are plenty of towers in the top lane they can bulldoze with this Aegis advantage. Now they got this tier 2 bot. There's only a tier 2 mid, and then the untouched top lane. They have plenty of time as the Infest Bomb available for collapse.
They're TPing top.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, the Wolves scouting out again.
They'll see the corpses
Yeah,
of the Wolves,
they
though, so
will.
Collapse will know that he's spotted at the very least.
They'll know that they know that they know.
Yeah. And that's the end of that.
Now the third blink on the side of Spirit as Mira picks it up. And Yatoro will be going for BKB. So being able to rage BKB, then I'm not sure how much downtime there is with the following rage, but not much. But if you use the Infest, then you should have plenty of
If you use all of your tools, you will have a second rage.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just going to go for the back door.
Nice and easy.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
As Laurel's going to show up in the mid lane to Diabolic Edict this tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See how much damage he can do before they force him out. As Save is going to get the lasso initiation. That is the shield run out to Laurel, so able to withstand it quite easily. They will get the tier 2 as a result.
Has fallen.
Does cost him his BKB charge. But Spirit will be end up bulldozing this top lane
Radiant's
in
top
its
tower
entirety.
is
So
under
all
attack.
outer towers likely to go down now in favor of Spirit.
Lifesteal looks so stupid with this high attack animation. The way the
That
arms
Ghoul
are swing.
Frenzy, baby.
Dire's
Put
bottom
crest
tower
on him and he
is
swings so fast. It looks like Angel Arena. They bought 100 Tome of Agility.
The Split Earth
Off we go.
onto the high ground. Tidal Wave stopped immediately thanks to Rage. And Spirit, they're going to get this tower. It's going to be a fortification, though,
are fortified.
as a Split Earth so annoying to deal with. And Yatoro
Radiant's
finish
top
the tower now.
has fallen.
Does BetBoom want to fight? Or do they just give this up for now? You can see Miero and company not really interested yet.
Radiant structures are
As
fortified.
Yatoro kind of scared off by this second fortification.
Yeah.
They're scanning
Spirit
behind
scanning,
just to make sure they're not backstabbing.
They're anticipating a move from BetBoom. They kind
Oh,
of
there's
can't
the wolf
believe
bite. That's what they're waiting for. So we're going to see the
This lane's
Sven
gone.
turn into a wolf. Oh,
Good
the
arrow.
arrow hits. This is the Aegis still for 30 seconds, though. Inkswell, just in case. And the Rage
Radiant's top
take out
tower
their first lane.
Dire's bottom
All right,
tower
Miero has
fallen.
not shown this Aghanim Scepter yet.
Radiant are scanning.
Let's see how powerful this is. Remember back at TI-10, this was this was quite the item. Usually reserved for a tiny.
Yeah.
Is Laurel being pursued? Save. He's gonna find the jump. Doesn't have the vision yet. There he finds Mira. Laurel shadowing him though. The sheep. Looks like that's gonna be the cleanup of Mira. Nightfall had to use his BKB for this.
Yeah. Worried about the counterplay from Mars. From our point of view, obviously completely unnecessary BKB, but he does not know where Lifestealer is. So that one will be expended, and honestly, not a bad trade for Spirit. That's a BKB plus Sven ult to just kill the Lion. Now this opens up the map for a while for Spirit to push out the lanes, maybe start thinking about setting up for the upcoming Rosh. I know it's 2 minutes away on the early spawn, but you can at least play some very early vision. When you have this good control of the map, it can be very valuable to get deep enough and place wards that the enemy team are unlikely to deward for that fight. And you know for a fact that the Rosh will be bottom. Because his entire... Actually, not true. I guess if he spawns very early, he could be top. He'll be there for like 30 seconds.
As now Miero desperately needing a beak. He still has the dust, by the way. Still no glimmers.
These pesky wolves.
But the BKB for Mira will help him survive in one of those arena combinations. But collapse with the double arena available.
Radiant are scanning.
As there's a damager in the top river. Spirit will have the best chance at finding it here.
Dire are scanning.
Now Lincoln's picked up for Laurel. As Nightfall and company are smoked up. Where's this wolf bite at?
GPK's movement quite telling there, actually. He should have just cleaved out that wave instantly if he wants to move with his smoked teammates.
Well, lasso initiation. There's Nightfall. Gosh, he's
Oh,
actually
it's
back to the
really
high ground. That is
unfortunate.
very unfortunate. Now the Soulbind follows, and Nightfall's in a lot of trouble. Lycan stuck to the wall of the arena, still stuck to Nightfall himself. And just like that, it's going to be 2 dead in favor of Spirit. If they can catch up to Nightfall, that is. And Pale follows him as Mira gets to the high ground. 2 dead. They just call GG straight up. Wow.
Yeah.
No buybacks for them, so Spirit would have bulldozed the towers.
Wow, okay, that... I feel like I can't say this anymore. I can't keep saying we're getting some weird games.